Hey there and welcome to Dyson Days. I'm Madison and here we're making videos of our day-to-day, striving to raise our children up in the Lord and also a little bit of first-time homesteading. In today's video, I'm going to be going through step-by-step how I make my homemade kombucha. Now what you will need for your kombucha is a black tea bag, and I use the gallon size. We need cane sugar, and here I'm using organic. And then also you will need 1 SCOBY if you're making 1 batch and 2 cups of previous kombucha for just 1 batch. Here I'm making 2, so you can see I've doubled everything. 2 pots, each with 3 quarts of water, and a jar that can hold the 3 quarts of water, or 2 if you are doubling like I am. The 2 different pots, cast iron and 1 non-stick. I'm not sure if the kombucha will come out tasting any different, but I am using 2 different pots for 2 different batches, so I will let you know in the future if it does make a difference on what type of pot you use to boil your water. The first step here is to put both these pots on high, and you want to get them to a rolling boil. Now I have my first one here boiling, so I am pouring it into the measuring bowl. You want about 3 quarts of boiling hot water into your jar. Here I'm about to pour in the 3rd quart. I did 1 quart at a time, and yeah, it didn't pour the best for me. It actually worked better if I went slower and made sure it came right out of the spout. So there's my little tip for you. So we've got these here, or the 3 quarts sitting here, and then I grab my 1 gallon black tea bag and I'm going to let it steep here for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take the tea bag out. Now both of my jars are done steeping. It's been 10 minutes for both sides, and the water is still very hot, so we are going to take this time to pour in 1 cup of sugar into each jar and stir until dissolved. And then after the sugar is all dissolved, we are going to just cover these jars and let them come back down to room temperature. Now this step does take quite a while. It can take upwards of half a day to have it come back down from the boiling temperature. I did put these temperature strips on the jar so that I know exactly when it's back down to a good temperature, and that's anywhere between your normal household temperature all the way up to about 85 degrees. So you want it to come back down quite a bit before you go on to the next step, and that would be adding your SCOBYs. And the hot water can actually damage the SCOBYs, so you want to definitely make sure it comes back down to room temperature. With kombucha making, it is a lot of passive time, so you're putting in about an hour of work and then waiting 7 to 14 days for that first ferment. And then after that 7 to 14 days, after you get the taste to your liking, you are then adding the fruit or herbs to make the flavor, and that also will take around 8 days for the second ferment. And you also want to let it get fizzy and bubbly in that second ferment if that's what you prefer. Now that my tea is back down to room temperature, it is time to add 1 SCOBY and 2 cups of previously made kombucha. If you don't have 2 cups of previously made kombucha, you can use store-bought. And here I have more than 1 SCOBY for each jar, and that's okay too. So I put 2 in each jar in the previous kombucha, and now it's ready to be stored in a dark, warm place. and right up in the cabinet above the stove is where I end up putting it. I will end up tasting it after 7 days and see if it is to my liking. It usually takes me more towards 14 days. You can go up to 21 days for more of a tangy taste. So try it at 7 and see if it's ready for you. You can drink it after 7 days, or if you want to add a flavor, you add about a cup of fruit to your kombucha and take the scobies out, and you let it sit for about 8 days for that second ferment. Thanks for watching today's how-to video. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, that way you know the next time we post. And please give us a like if you enjoyed this video or these types of videos. And we will see you next time on Dyson Days.